did the South and Band. Charges on the beat.
On the spoon to get your information. On the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon registration.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon, you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening in Monrovia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. My brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. To spoon. You wanna get a news update, to spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, 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 kilibamba. What I want? Yes, man, you bati leo.
Spoon TV. Spoon.
Yes, man, you bati leo.
Spoon.
Beseku.
Spoon TV. Spoon.
Ba.
Spoon.
Skidibidi dabado.
Oversight. What is key is how those responsibilities trickle down meaningfully in the lives of our people. And that's what I think in the 55th we should be very concerned about. As others said, and I just like to restate, the issues in health, education, and infrastructure all across all of the 15 countries. And I think it is incumbent upon us to see how we embark on a process of actualizing the decentralization of the country in terms of development. That development should not be concentrated in certain areas of our country and leaving the rural parts or many other areas. If we do that, it's going to be difficult for us to continuously have the support of our people. Even for the current government, it's going to be difficult to have the support of our people. So we all need to take into consideration it's not time for us to concentrate and make the decentralization a reality. It shouldn't just be in theory. Besides, there are few specific issues related to Miami County, some for across the rest of the country I'd like to talk about. In the 54, we embarked on the process of
car is moving and no one is in the vehicle and is holding. Seriously? Jesus Christ. What the fuck is that? So, Jesus Christ.
Well, that's it. The course will be established later. With a long vehicle carrying fuel at the back, God's willing, 9,000 gallons.
Here this afternoon. I want to say sorry we're late because we should have been here earlier, but you know the tragedy that happened in Total. So we have to stop there and speak to the people there, so it delay a lot of things. But thank you for being here. I want to use this opportunity to thank His Excellency President George Weah. I still say, and I will continue to say, that he is Liberia's best president. Because the issues that he's concerned about are issues that bring life. Whether that road project we did, whether that schools we're building, all the other things we have done, from the water system to the road, everything in between. So he is somebody who was concerned or is concerned about the people of Liberia. I will continue to praise God for him. I want to thank him also because he has many friends around the world. When you are a president, you can't sit down in a corner and say you will do it by yourself. If you do it like that, you will not succeed. But he was able to go to the Middle East, go to Turkey, go to plenty places. His friends have come to help us. With the help of the president of Turkey. So with his friendship with the president of Turkey, President Erdogan, today,
they'll know that Ora, I cannot perform a certain duty when I'm old. And what you're talking about in 2 years from now, I'm 57 now. Our retirement age is 65. I'm 57 now. 6 years from now, I'll be 163. And I cannot work for 2 years. So the best thing to do is to promote peace and prosperity for this country. So you're not going to drag me into politics until I reach or 90 years old, or 75 years old. So I'm just telling you, because right now, you know what we face with? Our parents that were in politics when we were young. Our 1 year old, my uncle was in politics. Some of them can't even walk. We'll see how we can take them to the hospital to survive. So when they are 80, they are 90 years old, they still running their politics. It's not me. I did not come to politics to hijack politics. I think the politics will play a part. I think the politics will play a part. Maybe you can say, well, I think he wanted to prove something. And then I will agree with you, yes, I wanted to prove something. And the only thing I wanted to prove, when people say that We are insignificant people. And I want to pick them wrong to say that no, we are not insignificant. Yeah, we may not have the same or possibility that you have, but every possibility that we got, we can make use of it. You understand? So I will never be president. When God knows I will be president. I will not do nothing in Liberia here. I will just not waste time. But you can look around Liberia, you can see that my fingerprint is everywhere.
Yes, I, a special one from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band, charges on the beat.
On the spoon to get your information. On the spoon to be part of our discussion.
Okay, tune to Spoon to get your information, tune to Spoon to be part of our discussion. Of course, this is where we get to talk about the happenings in Liberia. We bring you up to speed with all of the major happenings in the country. And of course, we make some objective analysis here around those very happenings, providing you the opportunity as well to weigh in your thoughts on those issues as they unfold. All right, and I'd like to say welcome to the program tonight. My name is Nelson Collet, and of course, this is the late night show on Spoon. And we're here tonight again live on Spoon 107.5 FM. We're live on Fabric 101.1 FM. We're live on Super 95.5 FM as well. We're also live across the country on other frequencies. Gibi one is that's Gibi FM 90.9 and Premier FM in Bond County and other radio stations across the country as well. We're live on YouTube, Spoon Talk Live. Thanks to all of you who have joined us via the YouTube handle. And thanks to the folks joining us on Facebook as well. Fabric TV, Super TV, and Spoon TV are on Facebook. I'd like to say thanks to all of you here. We ask you to kindly share the program as you come on. So we have a great show here tonight. Again, I'd like to say welcome to all of you. I see Moses Momolu is here. He has joined us. Thanks for joining us, Moses Momolu. Nakita, we are Roberts. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you tonight. Yeah, so as you come on, please kindly share the program. Let's have a great conversation here tonight. Yes, it's gonna be fascinating. Let me welcome Madam Mary Lincoln. Thanks for joining us. Kenzie Purpose Official. Thanks for joining us tonight as well. And yes, we are here set to go. And of course, let me go across and bring in the folks now as we get set to move on with this edition of the program tonight. And let me say welcome to everyone who have joined us. I see Raymond is backstage. Raymond, it appears that Raymond is the first person to join us tonight. So let me bring Raymond in. Thanks for joining us, Raymond. It's good to have you on tonight.
It's always a pleasure being here, man. Where else to be other than here?
Wow.
Just-
Uh,
Yeah, go ahead.
do we still have bad road?
The condition of the roads, as far as I know it, is still the same. Our president-elect promised to do something about it in 100 days. And so we have some expectation, but until it's done, we keep the
So
flag.
how long you gonna keep the bad road? I see vehicles stuck in the mud, and a whole lot. Eh, How long you gonna keep that in your background?
As long as those in power who got their national cake can see
Mhm.
reason to give the Liberian people the roads they deserve, where we can commute from one place to another, those short distances
Mhm.
in real time, and where goods can leave the farm and go to the market, and other commodities can reach to people no matter where they are. You know, Nelson, the truth of the matter is we come from a very rich country.
Mhm.
All of our past leaders have not taken governance and especially infrastructure development serious. We have played around in that country. We are more than 100 something years, and we still don't have 15 roads. You will be surprised to know that a lot of our roads were built by logging companies, now properly designed, not designed by road engineers. And yet, into today's time and date, we still have those things behind us.
Wow.
It's a shame. We're not a serious country. We haven't had a serious government. And until we can do that, and the development of our roads is a priority that is long overdue. So we want to keep them in, reminding them to do the needful.
Yes. When someone like you who comes from that background, or who has some expertise in that area, talk about it, and especially looking at the images you display in the background, it tells us how passionate you are about the whole, infrastructure, specifically the development of roads in our country. And this is important because there's no way you can talk about development and all of that without mentioning the issue of roads. The country will have to be connected. We will need to have a system where you can commute, leave from one part of the country, get to another part of the country in a relatively short time frame, short period of time, without going through the regular issues we have, where people will be stuck. Maybe you're making your way from Monrovia here, for example. You're going to Grangeville County. You'll be stuck there for up to a week, sometimes 4 or 5 days before getting at their destination. It's a very serious issue, and that's why Liberians voted for a change, and it is just so fair that the people get to they start to see that very change that they 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 voted for, and all of that. And it's a good thing that this administration has captured the issue of road connectivity. No car will get stuck in the mud after the first 90 days. That's what we've heard from the president elect. And that's something that Liberians are eagerly waiting to see some fulfillment too. Of course, those promises that have been made. But a lot of things happening in the country. Raymond, we can talk about what's on our minds and all of that, but so many things are happening in the country. Now, this vehicle, I like us to start off from here. Lots of things. We have a whole lot to cover here tonight. We're hopeful that we can capture everything we have on the plate for tonight. But this vehicle, while we get the rest of the guys coming in, we woke up to this particular truck.
The car is moving and no one is in the vehicle and is waiting. Seriously? Jesus Christ. What the fuck is that?
Well, just a portion of that. Imagine waking up in the morning, you decide. But let me welcome you, Alfred. Alfred, thanks for joining us on the show tonight. It's good to have you on. Imagine waking up in the morning, you decide to go about your normal activities, and you come across this kind of situation. Well, um, this thing happened in Sincore. I think Raymond, you know that particular part of Sincore.
Is it
Somewhere
between
around
First and Third Street?
exactly.
Yeah, Brown Capital. Yeah.
And a vehicle just lost control. Lost control. No one is in the vehicle, and it's moving. It moves from the right lane onto the opposite lane and gets on the sidewalk of the opposite lane and is moving into objects. And this is something that is not new. Let me just say it this way. Now, I don't know how many of you remember we had a situation around the Johnson Street intersection, Johnson Street intersection. When again, this time it was a similar vehicle. There's a name for them, but it carries those 40 foot containers and stuff like that. Again, that truck left the road, ran into the pedestrians, the people who sailed along the road, and several persons lost their lives. The next thing we saw was a notice from the Liberian National Police. Of course, a lot was being said, safety measures were being put in place, and then at the time, we saw the authorities of the Liberian National Police, the Public Safety Division, come up with categories of container trucks that should plow the streets at a certain time. So it was said that they had category A, category B, and category C. The ones that are not in good condition, they should plow the streets only during the night time. The ones that are in very good condition, they can plow the streets anytime. But with all of those things they were saying, the lives were lost. The people were gone. Up to now, their families see them no more. So after a few months, that safety measures and everything wiped away. No one is talking about categories of vehicles that should be flying the streets anymore. And here we are. This container truck again. Just today, several months, few years after, we are seeing another situation here. Now, it says a whole lot about road safety, the law, but Raymond, I want you to weigh in your thoughts on this particular issue here before moving on to Alfred.
Nelson, every sector of our society, our country, is not performing adequately, especially the Liberian National Police. To ensure road safety and our vehicles plying the road are roadworthy, it's just a matter of effort from the human. And, we can make all the excuses for the police officers, but they got a job. They're the privileged few. Many Liberians will want those jobs. They're the ones who have it. And, anything your hands finds to do it to the best of your ability, irrespective of the returns. We live in a country where everyone's poor. People live below the dollar per day. But if you have a job that is not paying you adequately, but you should have passion for what you do. And the cause of joining the police is not just to earn a living, but it's to give back to your society and ensure that your society is a better place. You would do your job. Most of those vehicles plying the streets are not roadworthy. What I saw today from the vehicle, analyzing it, it was a brake failure because the driver ran out of the vehicle. And because it's a curve, it wouldn't stay on this lane. That's why it ran into the vehicles and went into the barricading wall or the fence. But Nelson, this can be done only when Liberians choose to do the rightful thing, serving their country, making a sacrifice. Being more concerned about what they can give back to their country and not just what they can get from their country. If we all decide to do one thing right in our country will become a better place. Wow. These heavy vehicles plying our streets should be inspected, and anyone in violation, the penalty should be grave enough that nobody will have the guts to violate those things. But when the police officers are there, allowing these vehicles to plow the street for little or nothing, just putting small money in their hands and don't care about what happened to the rest of the population, that's when these things happen. or when somebody have a connection with someone who is a police officer in the hierarchy, and the guys in the field cannot do their job because the telephone call is going to be made and somebody is going to instruct someone to let a vehicle leave, irrespective of them being in violation of the road safety guidelines. We'll have these things. But until we can get serious and the commander-in-chief can hold everyone accountable for their very actions and how things function under their watchful eyes, we'll continue to have these things. And it's a shame that we can be experiencing these things in this time. Nelson.
Yes, and let's hear from you, Alfred. This is serious. We've lost so many lives to these kinds of situations in our country. At some point, there are safety measures that are put in place, and before you know it, but let's hear from you, Alfred, and quickly then we'll make the transition. A lot of issues to talk about tonight.
Yeah, I want to say good evening again. Nelson, thank you so much for having me on tonight. I've been away for quite a while. I've not been too well. The cold, being giving me tough time. So I don't want to come on the show and sit down there coughing here and there. So I've been out of the picture for quite a while. But I listened to my brother Raymond. I feel very bad for Liberia. I was just in Texas the other day, and my wife and it was my second time going to Texas. It was our first time going to Texas. Nelson, just the airport.
Okay.
The airport, the development on the airport. Because of the population in Texas, the development is so much important to the state. My wife and myself were landing on the airport, and she saw the car coming. She said, "Oh, look at the car coming." I said, "No, that car not coming to you." Because the airport is built in a way that the car underground tunnel. So she saw the car up on the other road that they built in the air. She saw the car, the car was coming to the plane. That's what we're talking about. This country, Liberia, does not have a national plane. We don't have a national plane. Even our roads. In this country, there are roads for trucks. Any one of us that live in America here that have driven on the road, there are roads for trucks. You don't find trucks everywhere. No. Because in this country, it's a federal crime for a driver to have an accident, because every truck that leaves a station, it carries over $200,000-$400,000 worth of goods. So to get a city or driving lesson in this country, it's a career by itself. You don't just find anybody going to it. That's why the test alone is very tedious. Because when you make mistake, you go into good jail. That's how it is in this country. But for our country, Liberia is not serious. Liberia is not a serious place. If Liberia was a serious place, you will not find trucks in the city center, in the middle of the day. You will not find it. But again, we can lay all the blame on the recent leaders. Our past leaders failed for the country. And one of the presidents that I can front on very much is Olivier Stockman. He had a luxury of time to lay out the country for the next leaders that were coming. But he was on womanizing, drinking alcohol, killing people.
Olivier Stockman, that's another thing all by itself.
So at the end of the day,
but if you look at, I'm coming. I'm taking a look at the end of the day,
all the other leaders that came, they had to be confronted by those challenges. Unfortunately, they themselves, they were so engulfed with corruption. Corruption has been our biggest problem. Leadership has been our biggest problem.
So I know you want to shift most of the blames on one of Liberia's president. Okay, the longest serving president of our country, right? But how many years did he serve for?
27 years. 27 years.
27 years. So Liberia as a country is over 170 years. Okay, so let's take 50 years and give it to him. Let's assume he served for 50 years. You'll be talking about over 100 years left. So is it about a particular president? Is it about our past presidents? Or is it about us now? Maybe when I say us, maybe taking it from the early, let's not go to the 90s, the post-war Liberia, taking it from the post-war Liberia up to now. We'll be talking about 2 decades, 2 decades since Liberia's civil war ended. 2 decades. And yet we do not have unique road safety infrastructures in place. Is this something that is a particular leader should be blamed for? Because if taking this into consideration is not respective of anyone. This right here on
The car is
this
moving
right here
and
on
no one is in the vehicle and is waiting. Seriously? Jesus Christ.
Chief.
and they ran
Oh my
into
God.
the opposite lane, ran into the opposite lane, running into other vehicles. Now come to think about it. Sometimes people, you go before those stores or those offices right on the boulevard. Maybe you have families, maybe families or colleagues in the car. You park your car. The car is faced towards that particular office, and maybe you in there attending to something. All of a sudden, a vehicle like what you see on the screen is out of control, brake failure or whatever. Before you know it, it's running into that vehicle. Come to think about that. So we're talking about over 20 years. You know, sometimes these issues is good to face it the way it is, right, Alfred? Liberia as a country saw or have seen peace for more than 20 years. Is there any reason why we do not have unique road safety infrastructures in place? Is there any reason why up to now Liberia as a country is not even strong when it comes to enforcing the safety regulations in our country? You drive through the streets of Monrovia from ELW Junction or from Ralphie Highway. Okay, let's remove that place since the place is undergoing construction.
Mhm.
But from ELW Junction to Broad Street throughout central Monrovia, you see just 2 traffic lights that are functional with all of the intersections you pass by. Is there any justification for that, Alfred?
My brother, the corruption in our country has killed this country all the way. We will need a leader that loves Liberia. We always say that the biggest problem we have had over the years has been leadership. You know, Nelson, I sent you through my last course I was doing last semester. We're talking about city management because you're not doing public administration, we're doing city management. And I had the opportunity to look at the city IMA. There's a city architecture director at the city hall. Even when it's only spot in your house, like plumbing, you have to go to the city before you do anything in the house. In fact, there are people who have certain lessons to do certain things on the house. If that person come to your house, they look at it, because all the writing can be on the wall. By the time the person look at it, they don't have the license, they go in. My previous house I was in, the heater, it was a 1965 boiler system in the house. So when it broke down, I called the guy to come look at it. The guy said he doesn't have lesson to test the boiler. Because you know what? If that man test that boiler and anything happens, he's going to jail for 10 years. He doesn't have a lesson for you. So he said, you know what he told me? He said, I don't have lesson for this. Go to the city hall and find someone who has lesson for boiler. They will come and settle your, and they will come and fill your heater. That's how important it is when we talk about implementation of the law. I send you a picture. If you look in your messenger post, I send you a picture of the city, the landscape of the city, and how it's been laid out. Even behind the house, if I want to pull land to his post, I can't just go and dig. I must get permission from the electricity grade people. They will come and show me where to dig. That's how important it is. But in our country, we don't take nothing for. We take everything for granted. We take everything
Thank
for
you.
granted.
Let's hold you there. It's
So
good
it's
that
so
Officer
sad.
Hans
It's so sad, my brother. We are in the 21st
Cindy,
century, and we say
hear your
something
take
about development in our country. It's sad.
let's hear your take on this. Anyone could be a victim of that particular incident today.
Yes, seriously.
President George Weah, whoever the leader is, President-elect Boakai, Senate Pro Tem.
Why if
Anybody
George
could be
Weah was coming to the foreign ministry that he did today, and we have that kind of truck coming to the convoy? Why if?
Let's hear your take on this, Cindy, and then we move to Officer Johnson, then we transition.
Well, gentlemen, good evening. It's good to be here. Sorry I'm a little late. I have a question first before I respond, Nelson. Was there any casualty today from that truck? Any death reported?
Well, investigation is still ongoing with respect to that. Police is investigating, but there were casualties. But police is investigating. Yeah.
It's very sad. I mean, a lot of them said. Raymond said it. Alfred said it. We talk about the laws in other countries. I don't want to play, a lot more emphasis on what happens in other areas. But certainly, what happened over there today is that we do not have laws, or if we do have laws, we don't just respect those laws. I mean, the thing about Liberia is that we have a lot of laws, right? We often say, oh, we don't have law in this country. We have a lot of laws. The enforcement of our laws are the problem. We don't enforce the law. We don't enforce the law. Most of that is because of corruption. Certain people are allowed to do certain things and they go free. What happened today cannot happen in most parts of the world. I used to work for Walmart about 10 years ago, Nelson. And I used to work at night. My job was to get groceries from the truck, that same truck that you saw there today. At night, in the middle of the night, around 12 midnight, 10 years ago, I would go in a truck, come to Walmart, and we unload the truck. Do you know why the truck was coming at 12 midnight? Walmart is in a community. The truck is not allowed to try to drive through that community in the day.
Exactly.
That truck can only drive through that community in the middle of the night. Okay? They are allowed certain hours passage. Other than that, you will never find those trucks around in the community, in residential area, or even on major roads like that. That road is a basic road. Truck like that should not be around there unless in the middle of the night. But I mean, we said this. It's unfortunate. We can blame government 1 million years ago, 100 years ago. We can only take it from here and move forward. We have to take our laws serious. Certain things must be taken serious. A country like Liberia with such a, Monrovia is so overcrowded. We have to take our laws very serious to protect our own people. I asked that question if there were casualty because people may have lost their life. I mean, like you said, people lost their life. If people lose their life today because of someone else's mistake, I mean, that is unfortunate, but that could have been prevented. It could have been prevented if there were laws in place that are being enforced. So we don't know yet. We don't know names of victims. We don't know what has happened. But what happened, whatever the result is, we know that it's going to be very dangerous. It's going to be very, very major. That truck is loaded, it's heavy, running with that level of speed into, cars that are on the opposite side. It's just so unfortunate. It's even hard to wash. But hopefully,
thank you.
The police,
thank you.
The juries will take into consideration those laws that are in place, or if they are not in place, will implement some laws, enforce them, so that our city can be safe, the people can be protected. Thank you, Nelson.
And just to add to this, I don't know whether that car is insured. Whether those victims will receive compensation. That's another thing.
Come on.
Because all the cars that have been destroyed over there, supposed to be the company that has that truck should take liabilities. I don't know what I would even have lost on the boat.
Listen, talking about that whole thing, you know, it's interesting.
You see, that's what we're talking about.
Talking about the whole thing, right? So when I got involved in that accident situation, the first thing is the individual who ran into that vehicle and the other vehicle ran into me. At the end of the day, the first thing that came out from the whole thing was
you talking about your accident you had?
My own accident. Let's not go to that other one. Let's not go anywhere far. The first thing that happened was okay, so sorry, you know, I was sleepy and I didn't know what happened. But you're speeding. You say, yeah, but if you were just on the scene to see how all those things were damaged, airbag, everything came out. But the first word is sorry. You go to the police station. The next thing is, oh, okay. I will take on the responsibility. I'll fix the car. I'll fix the car at the police station. Now, after the whole thing at police station, the next thing the individual comes and say, you know, it's not easy. You know, I beg you. You know, I will do this. Okay, I will replace some of the things. I can make it to spray it. You know, all those kind of things. So at the end of the day, you survive most of these things. The only thing you worry about is your life, your survival. You survive. The rest of it, nothing is.
Nelson, let me tell you. In this country, you cannot drive a car from the parking lot or for any car dealership. You cannot drive the car in the street from the dealership or our insurance.
And that's it. Most times, you know, and that's where we are. You know, there's a whole lot to that. There's a whole lot to that. Most of the insurance companies, when you are caught up in these kinds of situations, look, I sat in a vehicle once when in a commercial vehicle, and then somewhere, and then there was this guy just talking about himself, like, so someone asked him, but what's wrong? Why are you angry? He said, no, but I insure my vehicle and I was involved in XYZ. No, he said another person's vehicle was insured. That vehicle ran into his car and damaged things and blah, blah, blah. Long story short, to address that issue, the guy said he had gone at that particular insurance company for over 3 weeks. They've been sending him back and forth. The anger and everything in the guy. You tell him dressing the car, say he's angry. You know?
He had no business of going to that people. Let him just go to the court.
That's the other side of things. That's the other side of things in this part of the world. But let's Cindy,
I want to give credit to some insurance company. I want to give credit to some insurance company in Liberia. Since we're talking about I have a transportation business in Liberia. All my cars, my motorbike, my keke, they are insured. One of my cars was hit badly recently. It was hit very badly. The person ran away, hit and run. My insurance company repaired the car to the fullest. Just 2 days ago, a brand new motorbike, one of our brand new motorbike was stolen. We can't find who stole it because we insured it. The insurance company bought us a new motorbike. So there are some good insurance companies like Liberia.
I'm saying, there are some that, you know, will be good, but there are some that are bad apples. And the bad apples are many. The bad apples
I agree. I want to agree with you. I got an experience too with one of the insurance company when I was there. It went well. And you won't believe it. One of our vehicles, because I ran a project, a government insured vehicle had an issue. And the insurance company never catered to it. So they are good and bad apples.
But let's hear your take on this.
Then the question is, what happened to the coach? If I will have an issue with my insurance company, where do I go for?
After let's take Officer Johnson. We have to transition quickly.
But you're right, Afra. We have to be able to make the system works. The system is not going to work automatically of itself. The people have to make the system to work.
That's what we have. So Hey Nelson. Good day, panelists. And hello to everybody in TV and radio land. This is I saw that accident today, and I was my as in Liberia, as we can say, my mother full. Um, because you can tell it was a mechanical failure, but at the same time, many of the trucks in Liberia, the transport trucks or tractor trailer or lorry, whatever, however it is called, they are not roadworthy. Um, in Liberia, when I was driving, because I drive 95%, 99% of the time when I'm home, I'm driving, and I'm driving stick shift too. I'm so afraid to come near any one of those lorries or tractor trailers because I know the safety situation in Liberia. What I saw today is over here. Let me speak. I'm not speaking. Let me put a disclaimer. I'm not speaking on behalf of my department, but being an officer, we do have what you call environmental crimes unit. Environmental crimes unit serve the various highways, streets, and areas within our vicinity where I work to be able to tackle those things. So, out of my jurisdiction, other states, you will see the state troopers, you know, pulling over trucks for certain inspection. They notice that it's not roadworthy. Even if you don't have your actual sign display, if you're transporting diesel, fuel, whatever, any kind of chemical for that matter, you do not have your UN sticker display and your symbol display of those things, you're gonna get pulled over, you're gonna get fined. If it's violation beyond, you're gonna go to jail. That is the response. That's what the state troopers and other agencies would do over here. Do we have a Liberia? Yes, we do. There are laws on the books for those things, but how is it being implemented? That is the issue. So I would not use this time to condemn. For this reason, we have an incoming government and hopefully a good IG that's gonna be coming, that's gonna staff his the Liberia National Police with good people that will be able to actually do the work for the people of Liberia. And also, let us not forget the Department of Transport, the Department of Agriculture, Department of Commerce. All those people are intertwined when it comes to transporting rather goods and services. You know, you got agriculture things being transported, chemicals, fertilizer. All those things should undergo through process. Do they have laws for in Liberia? Yes, they do. Though time, for my little boy time, I remember though time, those laws were being implemented. There were very few accidents during Samuel Doe time, if I can recall, with lorries and tractor trailer having Liberia, but many of the laws were being implemented starting from Tobo all the way coming to Doe time. Yes, we do not have the roads that will be able to divert certain cars at a certain time, but we can still plan at a certain time how for tractor trailers to be able to travel to make the if you're owning a Lebanese business, example Boulevard on the Tottenham Boulevard over there, from 10 to 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning, have your truck be plowing the streets for delivery. At that time, you have less traffic, you have less people because of the hours that we have. So even though we don't have the roads for detour, but we can still have these laws implemented. But before these trucks get on these roads, Department of Transport, Liberia National Police should be able to have the full inspection done, pass inspection. I'm talking about brakes, headlights, signal lights, everything, down to your triangle placards in case if you have an emergency, but none of those things. So that is where we find ourselves. And I just want to acknowledge the new and also encourage the new incoming IG I'm keeping my fingers crossed and hoping it will be somebody that I know very well that will be able to work and implement the laws along with the transport, agriculture, and commerce department to help minimize some of these destruction and accidents in Liberia or Monrovia, anywhere for Liberia for that matter. If Nelson's still there.
Yeah, but Officer Hines, one thing we should also take into consideration is the issue of insecurity. We can talk everything here. Here, you can get in your car 1 o'clock and go to where you want to go. No one will harass you on the street. Your car will not be harassed and nothing like that. People spending thousands and millions of dollars in that country. So all the thing we see is all bogged down to the issue of insecurity.
Nelson, let me chime in on that, Alfred, if you don't mind. Alfred, that's what I said. Let us not waste a lot of time on this and and encourage the new IG. That is all part of security. So the new IG will be on a certain time of the night. We know that certain unit or the PSU or the police will be deployed in certain part of the city to have these trucks and people plow the street with safety. So that is all now. I'm encouraging. I know to my voice, and I know I'm hoping that person who my fingers is keeping crossed on to be the new IG. I know that I personally.
Who are you keeping your fingers
No, the
crossed?
man keeping it to his chest. The man keeping it to his chest.
I'm not going to disclose the name. The day when it happened,
Who do you think is going to be the new IG?
I ain't doing it. I'm a deep. I'm a poor society secret. I'm not telling
The man
you.
that the man vote.
I know.
Anyway.
But Heinz, right? Heinz.
Yes.
I heard you commending the Doe government and previous government for road safety measure. But are you aware that the number of vehicles plying our street were far less, maybe 1/3 of what we have today, and even the population? So based on the size, the occurrence would be little as well, and it's easily manageable. But I don't think those leaders, planning is always for the future. I didn't think they did a lot to safeguard and give us a soft link.
However, we should also look at the 14 years war that took us. And we can all admit that Samuel Doe was starting a massive development, give or take what happened tribally, but we can also give or take that Samuel Doe was starting a massive development in Liberia prior to 1990. I just want to
next thing I beg you, please bring the city manager here for the city of Monrovia to come tell about the city.
Oh
my God!
Thank you.
Heinz.
But we have to transition a bit, guys.
We got to transition, but that debate is a deep one, and I disagree strongly.
Okay.
There's something we've been following. We've been talking about. A lot of you are aware that.
That's an Alfred Cricket.
I'm removing Alfred now. He can come back on when he's set up. Okay.
The man plays star.
Yeah, but interestingly, we've been following this thing. Following the election, the next debate was the leadership at the legislature, and campaign went on. At the last meeting to the time, at the 11th hour, we saw that the Unity Party brought up this issue about Councillor Fonati Kofa's citizenship, and the citizenship battle took off. Of course, there were discussions around that. His passport was published in different newspapers, and then the Unity Party decided to take this issue to court using the law on grounds that Councillor Fonati Kofa cannot be a U.S. citizen and at the same time be serving as the Speaker of the 55th legislature. Least to talk about, even before getting to the whole speakership thing, even the whole idea of contesting, they brought up the law that Councillor Fonati Kofa was violating, or that he had violated based on his decision to run. Well, on the very day Councillor Fonati Kofa was elected, few hours following his election, a lawsuit was filed. A lawsuit was filed against Councillor Fonati Kofa. Shirley, I want to say welcome to the show. The only female here, so we
thank you. I was wondering why you keep switching me around, but thank you.
Yeah. So Councillor Fonati Kofa filed. There was this lawsuit filed against Councillor Fonati Kofa by the Unity Party after the Unity Party lost the election, and a lot of people saw this thing as something that was very unique. The Unity Party has made a very tough decision, and that as a ruling party, a ruling establishment, making sure that you go to court, you take this thing to the law, was the best thing that the Unity Party ever did. And that would have set a precedent for people who are in similar situation to know exactly what their fate is. But in no time, today, we came across this document. I don't know, let me see if I can pull the document up. If not, I'll read from what I have here on my gadget. Unity Party filed the lawsuit. The court summoned Councillor Fonati Kofa and the National Elections Commission, since in fact it was NEC that certificated Councillor Fonati Kofa. Well, less than 24 hours following the lawsuit against the councillor, the speaker of the 55th legislature, the Unity Party has gone back to court and withdrawn the lawsuit. The Unity Party have decided. Now, let me read what's in here. You already know the petitioner, the chairman of the Unity Party, Reverend J. Luther Tapped, National Secretary General Amos Twain, all other officials of the Unity Party of the city of Monrovia. These are the people that filed the lawsuit against Councillor Fonati Kofa versus the National Elections Commission, represented by members of the Board of Commissioners, Republic of Liberia, first respondent, and Councillor J. Fonati Kofa, representative of Grand Creek County and speakership candidate in SYZ of Monrovia and so forth. Second respondent. So this was filed even before the election on Monday. Well, notice of withdrawal. That's the next thing you see on this document. Those of you watching on the bigger screen, on the larger screen, you will see this clearly. Notice of withdrawal. The clerk, 6th Judicial Circuit Court, City Civil Law Court A for Monrovia, Temple of Justice, Monrovia, Liberia. Mr. Clerk, you will please take judicial notice and spread upon the records of the Honorable Court that petitioner in the above entitled case, petitioners in the above entitled cause of action has on this date withdrawn its petition for the declaratory judgment with reservation. And so this is it. Respectfully submitted, Unity Party, petitioner by and through its legal counsel. So they went ahead today. What's the date here? The 17th of January 2024 at 12 noon. So those of you are in the US, those of you in the US and other parts of the world, we say today. Here in Liberia, we're in the next day. But today, they took this action and, of course, withdrew the petition. What does this say about the Unity Party? Folks, I want you to weigh in your thoughts on this. Let's hear your take on this whole idea, this whole decision of the Unity Party to withdraw this lawsuit, to go to court and say the man a U.S. citizen, he's not supposed to be in a position. And after a few hours, you go back and say, look, the thing we say we bring the man to court for, we take it back. Is there any reason why the Unity Party could be right for taking this action? Is there any reason for Liberians out there to believe that the action that the Unity Party took today was the best thing to have ever, the best action they ever took, given the situation at hand? Has this in any way settled the dust on the argument of the citizenship of the speaker? Has this brought to bed or silenced the law, the very law that the Unity Party used to take the speaker to court? Let's start with Sandy. Sandy, let's hear your take on this one.
I was hoping to start with Raymond. But I will start. Shelley, welcome to the show. Look, Nelson, this is unfortunate. The Unity Party as a political party should stop playing this childish game with the Liberian people. And I'm being clear. The Unity Party as a political party. I'm not saying Joseph Boakai as president-elect. The Unity Party as a political party should stop playing this childish game with the Liberian people. This should not be about the Unity Party. This should have been about the Liberian people. This lawsuit will have clearly defined the laws in place regarding dual citizenship and what dual national are entitled to in our country. We knew from the very beginning that this was a political witch hunt. It was said on the show by some folks. Some of us said that this should have dropped. And that's what it resulted to, Nelson. They didn't want this guy to contest the speakership. They called him to meeting. Don't do it. He said, no, I'm going to go ahead and do it. The next thing we start to hear, they're going to court, he's a U.S. citizen. This guy won the he won the speakership. Now, all of a sudden, we saw him with a picture with Ome Boakai. And there's some discussion in the background. So because of your personal discussion in the background, now you can drop a case that will have clearly defined this law for the Liberian people.
Do you see this as a plus for the Unity Party or a blunder on the part of the Unity Party?
It is a blunder, Nelson. It is a blunder on the part of the Unity Party. In their interest. The debt is in their interest. They want to work with this guy. I appreciate collaboration. I think we should have some level of collaboration in our government between the legislatures and the executive. I understand that. But again, this should not be about the Unity Party. You can still collaborate with this guy. You can still work with this guy, but ensure that what is the law is the law. Allow the legal process to go through. Let the court define. Let them clearly tell us if this guy is in the wrong, if Speaker Kofa is in the wrong. But you allow it. You send this guy to court. Now he became a speaker and you withdrew your case. That's a childish play on the Liberian people. Some of us waiting to know exactly how this law is and let it be defined to us.
Thank you, Cindy. We're going to come back to you, but let's hear from Raymond on this one. Then we'll move over to Shirley. Raymond, where do you stand? Has the Unity Party, is this decision a smart one? Was the Unity Party strategic enough to drop this case? Is it a blunder? Is it a plus for the Unity Party or a minus?
So I like to look at this in a little different perspective than my brother Cindy saw it. But I agree with him in part. You know, there's always, most times, two sides to a coin. Mm-hmm. So if the Unity Party, in their statement to withdraw this case, I'm not a legal person, so I wouldn't know when you withdraw a case from the court where you can refile. But they said they withdrew the case with reservation. And that reservation gave them some low clearance not to hold them. Mm-hmm. Because when you go to court, you don't argue the truth. You argue facts. And the facts that are permissible in court. So the Bible says you don't go to war or build a house without calculating its costs. It's wisdom to decide whether this fight is worth fighting in the moment. They say he who fights and run away live to fight for another day. So what are the details, the nitty-gritty for withdrawing? I don't know. But if it's all just politics, then I agree with Cindy. Then it's not right. Because the government should be the...
Again, let me interrupt you a bit. Raymond, if not for politics, what do you think would be the motive?
The motive should be...
the Unity Party withdrawing this case.
The motive should
From your own analysis of the voting.
The motive should be about justice. and standing up for the Liberian people, and the government should be about the law. It's not about individual and not respect of person. So it's not about the party, whether the party won the position. And so if someone can get it, the way to fight them to get a position is to take them to court. If that was the motive, then that's, to be criticized in the harshest of terms. But if the motive is to ensure that those coming to power are fit to serve because they got character and integrity, and those people who violating the laws, especially those who should make the law and sit the third highest in government, if that was the motive, then I will commend the Unity Party. But until, sometimes some things that are hidden, you can't be too clear about it because you don't have privilege to order the information. So if the United Party in their statement said they withdrew the case with reservation, it gives room to think that there are other details that I don't know. And I don't know whether they can further pursue this, whether they will allow their justice minister who's going to be appointed to pursue this. I don't know.
Do you see anything being played out here wherein the Unity Party wants this whole inauguration to get done with, and then maybe they can make a comeback to this particular case, especially on the aspect that has to do with reservation?
Probably so. That's what I said. I don't know the details. So sometimes you guys have to allow the question marks to hang and tell yourself, I don't know everything. But if Cindy said, if their motive is just...
But Raymond, the biggest concern that a lot of Liberians are having is the Unity Party pursued this case on the basis of the law. They provided the provision of the law that was being violated. Has that law changed? Has anything changed?
No, Nelson,
what has changed in the period of 24 hours, let's say 48 hours or so? What exactly is that particular thing that has changed within just a couple of hours? That's the question that a lot of Liberians are asking right now, Raymond.
So, Nelson, whatever Liberians should understand, court cases are not won based on the truth. It's based on the facts and the argument in courts, the hard evidence. Something could be true, but the evidence could not be sufficient to turn the case over for the verdict for you in court. So when you go into court, you have to analyze and calculate properly and know that it's a winnable case and the moments are right. And there are some other things that influence certain things. And that's what the Bible says. There's a time and season for every activity under the heaven. Discerning the time and understanding the season to take an action, that's what is called maturity and wisdom. There are some things that are right to do, but they're not prudent to do in a given time. And like I said, I'm not privileged to order the details. So to analyze it and call a spade in this situation is a little difficult.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Are you arguing that a respected, soon-to-be leading political party in Liberia did not calculate well prior to filing this lawsuit? And Nelson, you asked a very beautiful question. They filed their lawsuit based on the law. Has the law changed overnight? So they didn't calculate. They did not determine that they could win this case, but decided to go ahead to file this lawsuit. Is that what you're saying?
So the wisdom, the principle by which I speak,
Nelson, can you hear me?
Fights.
Yeah, we're gonna come to you after.
Oh,
he who fights and run away lives to fight for another day.
But why politics, run away? If that whole idea, that whole analogy you're trying to draw is something to go by, why run away? What's here to run away from, Raymond?
So sometimes, and like I said, the court of law is not an argument based on logic. It's an argument based on facts.
Thank you.
So the facts that you might have to your disposal.
Let's hold you there. Let's hold you there and take Shirley. Raymond. Thank you. Shirley, let's hear your take on this issue. You have been following. We discussed this issue the other day. Unity Party took Councillor Kofa to court, the former deputy speaker. He won the election. Now they've gone back to court and withdrawn the case. Despite the laws provided, the legal basis on which they took this issue to court, something that a lot of Liberians saw that would have maybe set some sort of precedent for those in similar situation, well, they withdrew the case.
Thank you, Nelson. First, I want to take this opportunity to say hi to everyone. And then to also say thank you so much for celebrating my baby birthday. She was so happy yesterday to see all of you sing a happy birthday song to her. So thank you so much. Um, to answer your question, Nelson, I actually been following, and I am a little bit disappointed, honestly. Um, but then get to think about it. I don't think that lawsuit was filed because they wanted to prove any point. I think they did that because of political reason, and that's what the president was able to have that meeting with him in the first place to kind of like give him an option, like, you can be the deputy and someone else can be the speaker of the house. So he tried to like give him a deal that he rejected. And then so they came up with that whole thing of, okay, he's a US citizen, so let's see if we blow our horn, he gonna step down. And I must say, the man, he's like, you know what? You can do all you can do. I've been running my campaign for 2 years plus. I had time to pay for other people so they can vote for me. So I put a lot of money into this. So whatever you get to do, I am gonna go over there and I'm gonna have my people vote for me.
Yeah,
And he did that.
Charlotte, what do you think? In the case where this councillor, the former deputy speaker, had agreed to go as a deputy speaker again, and the Unity Party to take the speakership, are you insinuating or are you analyzing here that the Unity Party would not have gone to court, and that this whole issue
No,
about
they
the
wasn't even
citizenship
gonna
would
bring
not
no
have
citizenship up. They wasn't gonna bring nothing like that out. Let be frank. It was all politics. They was not gonna bring that up. I think the Unity Party people did not play their card right. So they went to him for him to be the for them to take the speakership, and he refused. I think they just supposed to play their card the other way and be like, you know what? Yeah, you can take the speakership. We'll take the assistant speaker or whatever that is. Okay, but they thought they were going to win, or they thought that by taking him to court, it was going to scare him to calm down. And the man like, no. And even when he won, they're like, okay, let's go back to court. Like, it made no sense. Just work with him, because that's what you're gonna do in the first place. But I'm just
so do you support this whole idea of the withdrawal of the lawsuit?
I don't support it. First of all,
why?
If they knew that they wasn't gonna go forward with this, they shouldn't even start it in the first place. Period. So they started it knowing that it was all politics. They let him go to court because they wanted to prove that this man was U.S. citizen. All of them been working with him for years. So they all knew he was U.S. citizen. And they all knew that his eyes were on the speaker position for 2 years plus. So it's not today that a man wake up and like, I want to be speaker. He wanted the speakership for 2 years. He been campaigning for 2 years. So they knew that. So why didn't they take him to court then? And they waited the fact that they wanted a speakership position. So they're like, you know what? We're going to go after him. We're going to take him to court. But it was just, I don't know. They didn't play their card right. I hope they can go back and come up with a different plan. But it wasn't a real way to play their card. That's all I can say.
Thank you, Shirley. Thanks a lot for weighing your thoughts on this. Officer Johnson, let's hear from you. This is legality and politics all mixed up here, and we're trying to find our way around it. The legal issues were presented. The legal argument was presented. The public bought into the argument. Liberians were very much interested in that legal argument. But then, little did we know know that the politics was also affiliated or associated with this whole legal argument. Here we are. Today, the lawsuit has been withdrawn. Now, what does this say about the Unity Party and her decision-making process, her ability to make decisions, take actions towards certain things? Has anything changed about the law? With the recent withdrawal, where do you stand? Was it prudent enough for the Unity Party to have withdrawn the case, the lawsuit, or are you on the side that says, look, it wasn't prudent? I mean, what's your take on this issue?
So thank you, Nelson. So Unity Party, in a letter that stated they had a clause that stated future reference. I want to believe, right? Um, so it is still open. Now I'm not backing with
Reservation.
reservation. Thank you.
Yeah.
Future reference reservation. Appreciate it. So I mean, all your fans can be happy to know. I mean, anyway. So Unity Party, um, they lost a battle that they could have won in the second place. That's what I say. They could have gone. That I mean, there's so many things entangled in this. First, let me just lay out something here. I think they saw it as a constitutional crisis for once that would have prevented JMB from being inaugurated. Being the fact that Speaker Kofa was already elected, and at the same time, when you go to the High Court could say, well, he was elected, but we're going to put a hold on the inauguration based on the fact we have to interpret the law. So that would have been a constitutional crisis again. If the High Court tells you that, oh, we're going to put a hold on inauguration, we have to listen to the High Court based on the fact. But was evidence enough? Probably not. That so everybody been here on the various shows, been here on individual platforms that they only have passport, they only had this, they only had that. Knowing the American law, America would not disclose whether someone is their citizen or not. They have to protect the citizen at all costs. So Unity Party on this other one, I'm thinking they are, with the reservation they left open, they are able to put some people in place in the same position as Fonadi Kofa, not as speaker, but having U.S. citizenship, and gonna defy CDC outgoing people to go to the courts. Now they're gonna use that instance where you see, we let your man slide, so we're gonna let this slide. Now, does that give the law a good balance? No, that defeats the purpose of the law. So I was hoping they would have gone to court, not the idea of seeing Fonadi Kofa being removed, because I thought that Unity Party should have gone for the deputy speakership, because this man been preparing for this thing long time. They should have let him taking it, go for the deputy speakership and pursue the law. But they lost both battles, and now the law is weak because anybody can come. Who knows what Unity Party going to put in power next week as ministers and deputy ministers? What are you going to say? They're going to use Fonadi Kofa as an example, Speaker Kofa as an example. Then we're going to have some issues. Is the law right now
No, you struck a very important point, which I want us to go back to a little. I mean, let me say welcome to the show. Hence, Officer Johnson, you struck a very important point, talking about the inauguration, the speakership, and the impact on the process. Okay, and I have heard a lot of people make similar argument. This same very argument a lot of people have been making about the speakership and the lawsuit. I mean, the first thing here is the speaker, whether in a lawsuit or not, doesn't have to go to court every single day. He gets to be represented by a legal counsel. His lawyer can represent him. All right? So I'm still trying to find the connect between the lawsuit and the inauguration thing, and how do we find a way around that? You want to expand on that a little?
So yeah, the constitutional crisis I was trying to lay a premise on will be in the fact that yes, the speaker can have a representative, but the high courts could have said, based on this law that needs deep review and interpretation, we're going to put a hold on inauguration. Just that clause. So he's still being inaugurated as speaker. But I think Unity Party look at the longevity of how this thing going to drag out and say, you know what, let's set up for this. Let this man be. Let withdraw this with reservation. They put that reservation there. Just, I think it's just
So
for bluff.
are you seeing this as an attempt to just have this whole lawsuit thing put to rest after inauguration, then we can pick it up again? Is that what you
Ain't nobody gonna
figuring
pick it
out?
up. Ain't nobody gonna pick it up because Unity Party gonna appoint people the same as Funadi Kofa, and it left with some CDC people or other people to go and challenge it. Then you're gonna have a long, dragging court. Then Senate now. This is gonna be very,
You know,
very nasty.
and this is complicated.
Mhm.
We'll move to Africa, but
Just let me just drop up on something there
yeah,
real quick.
yeah.
Just
You're
January
about to
6th.
drop to something. You're about to drop to something, but let me just zero in on this, right?
Okay, I wanted to just conclude on this.
There was a legal issue presented, the breach of the law. There was a, they provided the law, the law on dual citizenship and all of those kinds of things, and they provided reasons why Councillor Funati Kofa should not serve in that position based on the law, right? And so, if this legal issue is not addressed, then it means that the Unity Party or whichever government coming hereafter will still have this battle to face.
So,
because the fact remains that nothing has changed.
So Nelson, what happened here is that I want to believe they may not come up to say Reverend Tapper and To who what's the Secretary General, they did not have
Amos Toy.
They did not have sufficient facts. You have to present. Laws are debated on in any court for that matter, more or less the high courts, based on facts. It's not sentiments and feelings. So them lacking the facts, but they will not come up and say it. I'm a GMB, I'm a Unity Party person, but they won't come up and say it. So they're just gonna let this be because they themselves do have something in their pockets that they're going to be appointing next week. That of the same. Watch me. You take my word, next week when we can't sit here on this platform, you say there are these other people. You'll see some names coming up.
But the optics, does it look good? The whole idea about Unity Party withdrawing this case.
It is a 50-50. It does not look good, but you have the right to withdraw a case if you don't have facts. So it's a 50-50, but it does not look good. But it would have been a lot.
We saw passports. We saw a copy of a passport.
Insufficient evidence.
Quote unquote belonging to Councillor Funati Kofa, the speaker. One may say that was evidence enough, especially if it can be proven beyond all reasonable doubt that passport was his passport. It belonged to him, and the pieces of documents, the information, the evidence are available. What next?
Can I ask you a question? I'm not asking a question. Can I just if that's a photocopy, that's not original. It was not even authentic. What you call verified by the State Department. So that does not give even a credible. So that look, there is something they saw that would have been struck down in a heartbeat. There is something they saw that is say that we don't have sufficient evidence. Look, you need evidence to go. When I have to go to court, right, to stand against somebody that I made an arrest on, based on the facts that I wrote my evidence on, I have to be presented, or I will be struck down and be made shame by the defense counsel.
Thank you, sir. Let's hear from you. Sandy,
quickly. In the comment section, I believe the name is Lane Lockbar. Say something in the comment section, I think.
Okay, that's Lane Lockbar.
Lockbar, thank you. It makes sense. They're trying to hang this thing on a man. The same thing they've been doing, or most people been doing to Prince Johnson. Small thing, we bring war crime code, on Prince Johnson. Your war law. They're trying to hang this thing on a man. If he disagree with their approach, he's not in favor of whatever they bring forth. They may hang it on him. If you don't do this, we're gonna sue you. You're a U.S. citizen. I hope that's not the direction they are taking this to, but their withdrawal is irresponsible.
That's a strong one. But let's hear from you, Alfred.
I'm not Prophet Key.
No, you're not Prophet Key. I know you're not Prophet Key.
Can you hear me, Nelson? Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. But listen, the man said he's not Prophet Kid. Anyway, something just slipped my mind. But go ahead.
Look,
Yeah, man.
usually,
Someone just interrupted with something I had to say. But go ahead,
yes,
Alfred.
usually when I come on the show,
Because no, the point is, this is the government that Cindy sat on this platform
my man, don't get
and
into my talking
propagated
point.
This is not
Don't
the
get into my
government.
talking point.
No,
We are talking about the unity party, not
no,
the
because
incoming
if you start
administration.
to do that, then it means you going against something that you sold to the Liberian people. All
No,
right.
listen, Nelson, listen. We did not tell you that everything will be right from the Unity Party leadership. We see a vision that will be better than George Weah. I still see that vision in the ambassador, President-elect Joseph Yuma Boakai. But if the United Party or Ome Boakai goes wrong in certain direction, we will be here to speak to it.
Okay, thank you,
That's
Sandy.
what we are doing.
Ruth Goba is disagreeing with everyone on the show
So
tonight.
can I go ahead now?
For Ruth Goba, we are not educated. We not go to school before. She's the only educated person. Ruth, we agree.
Ruth Goba, we sincerely
agree.
appreciate your feedback. But let's hear from you, Alfred. Alfred, what's your take on this whole decision here? Unity Party withdrawing the lawsuit.
Alfred alive?
Look,
Alfred?
let me say this. Let me say this to you guys.
Yeah, okay.
As a member of the Unity Party, the action by my party to go to court was irresponsible, and we should say it, because you know what? We want Joseph Boakai to succeed. What happened in George Weah government? We will not allow surrogates of the party to kind of be pushing the paper around. The thing was very clear. You knew very well that Fonatikova is a U.S. citizen. You knew that very well. In fact, let's go to the constitutionality of the whole issue here. You know, the 1986 Constitution is very clear, and it says that any law that contravenes the 1986 Constitution, it should be null and void. Okay, it should be null and void. So the whole citizenship class, people running around here way, we're supposed to look at this law. Let's look at the law. So are you telling me now that my children who have had here in America don't have right to Liberia because they are U.S. citizens? Is that what you are telling me? When they want to go back to that country
and again, someone brought up this argument about
is that what you are telling me? We gotta be careful with the whole dual citizenship issue. All right, but let's speak to the issue of what happened with the Unity Party. I think this whole issue here was a wish on. It should not have happened in the first place. You knew very well that you could not beat Fonatikova at the ballot box. You have a negotiation. There's nothing wrong for Fonatikova to be speaker. We came here, we told the Liberian Post that George Weah will not go for the presidency. You had a presidency. You had a vice presidency. You had the president. Why? This is not an entitlement. You're not entitled to have all the top government positions in the country. No. There's no such thing in our constitution that say when you win as a political party, you must carry all the other very top positions in the country. There's no such thing. You understand? But they never played that game real with Councillor Kofa, Fanatic Kofa. Call a young man, call a man, you have a negotiation. Send a man, the man has an experience as deputy speaker, and he knows how to play the legislative politics. You negotiate with the man, okay, you know what? You will take the speakership and will take the deputy speakership position. That's how it should have been. But they never had that conversation behind the door. They want to use the same situation that they use the CC people to do. They take the government issue as a political party thing. Look, let me warn Joseph Boakai. If you allow these people to come spoil government for us, soon money you will come down because we'll do everything to bring you down. Look, let me say this to you. The diaspora Liberians are the most powerful people in the country. If you don't want to hear that now. Go back in history. How Liberia was funded by diaspora Liberians. So we have the power to bring you down if you fail to meet the expectation of the Liberian people. Don't allow.
But Alfred, what was the expectation in this case? What was the expectation from the Unity Party in this entire thing?
When it started, we came on the show. Someone updated. that if you go back to our video clip, I said on the show that Fonati Kofa has the experience, and there was a probability of him becoming the next speaker of the national legislature.
No, I'm not going back to that Fonati thing. I am saying
now my expectation was
what was your expectation.
My expectation was like what the guys did in the Senate. They had a retreat and had a negotiation that Yomli Kanga will go on a
We're not talking about a retreat. No, I'm talking about the lawsuit. After you want to take all the way to Qatar before you come back to the play with
this lawsuit is useless. This lawsuit was a useless lawsuit because they knew very well from the very beginning that Fonati Kofa is a U.S. citizen. That's a fact. Okay, why would you want to go to court with it when you know very well the United States government will not show you their citizen? They got a law. They will not follow you to do anything because they have a law on their book that they will follow. That
so based on all of that, your expectation was that the Unity Party would not have won this case.
They should not. They would not have won the case. Number one. Number two, they should not have allowed. They should not have even thought about going to court, or they should not even have thought about threatening Fonati Kofa of a court case. They should have had a negotiation like what Yomli Kanga did with a group of people. That's the same thing they should have done. They should not have allowed people like Farah to be deputy speaker today. Farah was not going to be the picture and they have had a negotiation with Fonati Kofa. Take the speaker shit. Let us take the deputy position. We have to be real.
Thank you very much, Alfred. Alfred, thank you.
He's a Liberian.
Let's hold you there, Alfred. Thank you. Thanks a whole lot. We're gonna move to Alfred. We're gonna move to Amy rather, but before doing that, we'll take Officer Johnson.
Just very shortly.
20 seconds. But I see Roof Goba. I'm posting the link. I'm pasting the link here. Roof, we want you to come on the show, Roof. Come on the show. We want to hear from you, Roof.
I know, let Roof come on because Roof said
I'm pasting. No, Shelly, not a word, Shelly, not a word.
Okay.
Let's have Roof to come on.
Nelson, something Alfred said.
Yeah, respect Ruth's opinion. She has one, and we all have ours.
She does.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good. We respect her opinion. We
she makes a good point.
No, Ruth is definitely our girl. I like her. She come when she like you today. She will make sure your name is all in our comments. So no hard feeling, Ruth. We still love you.
Something I want to say, Nelson, real quickly. I'm not trying to take up Ami's time. I'm sorry, and I don't want to respect.
Borrow 20 seconds from Ami. Ami has agreed for that. Ami is giving.
I'm not gonna. You give me 20 seconds. Or Ami.
I agree. So you're trying to dismiss me? Okay.
No. And I don't expect a rebuttal from Alfred, but this is what he said. You don't have to get everything, bro. In politics, bro, I the president. I will probably want a speakership, the president pro temp, to be able to hold those things to fast forward my agenda. So the idea, oh, you're not supposed to have everything. No, that's not true. If you really understand politics and you live in America, you see how it works here. People are trying to hold the top leadership so the president can achieve his agenda. I just wanted to say that.
Thank you, sir.
And Nelson, if I may, just a few seconds. Alfred said that his children born in America will be disenfranchised and won't have rights in Liberia. No, our new laws allow your children to have rights, limited rights. And even Liberians who are born in Liberia got limited rights when it comes to politics. Not every Liberian can just get up and run for the presidency. There are criteria to be met. So the law does not give absolute rights. Every right is checkmate. And the truth of the matter is the constitution that you quoted did not allow your daughter to become a Liberian citizen once there was no dual citizenship under our laws. So this new law that made it a law.
Okay, thank you. Amy, let's give it back to you. Let's hear your take on this. We're about to go to the lines and take you.
Yeah, Nelson, thank you. And thank you to everyone in the comment section. You know, I want to disagree with Alfred and some other people tonight. I think I heard a few people, I'm not really sure about the Unity Party not playing that card right. I get confused when I hear that because I don't know what is the right way to play the card. Fananti Kofa were using money to induce people. And these people had meetings, they had people that they would even lie to. They had a lot of, I think they had a number for Richard Kun to win. And those people went and voted differently. So I don't understand what they wanted for Joe Boyka to do, what they were having done, other than what he did. I don't understand by not playing your card right, not playing it right. I don't understand it. He called people, he talked to people, tried to convince people to vote for Richard Kun. Richard Kun did the same thing. Jeremiah Kun did the same thing. Fananti Kofa was spending money all over the place. It's not a plan. It's not a fair a game. So I don't understand it. It's really hard. I mean, if it was plain no money, whatever regulation, and that people following rules in there, and you say the person didn't engage, I would understand. But they did. They even called him Mr. Alfred to go as deputy speaker. He refused. It was out there. So what do you mean they didn't sit with him to talk with him and all of that? And first of all, I wanted this lawsuit to go through because not the politics of it, but if Fananti Kofa sat there and was a dual citizen and did sign up onto law like that, I wanted to see it. I wanted to see it go through, to see what he was depending on when he accepted something like that. So I wanted him to be the first person that is something. Yes, it may look bad to say, oh, that Unity Party is the one that took him to court to get that it was going to look bad. But other than that, I wish people that he ran against would take this case up, other than the Unity Party or whatever, for us to see what it means. Or we can just go, anybody can just go and say, oh, I'm not a U.S. citizenship, because you can't call the embassy to tell you that I'm a citizenship. So what were they depending on to be your proof to know that somebody is a dual citizen, or when they were making these, or what were they actually depending on as proof to catch someone? If they can't accept passport, they can't accept or whatever, because it's not, somebody would just go and manufacture. And when the U.S. law said we are not on an obligation, it doesn't mean we cannot give it to you. It's just that under no law that we are forced to do that. But if they want to, they can do it. If this thing being taken up by the government, and I think if the government has a good rapport with the U.S. Government, you never know what might happen. The only reason why these people don't do that is because of terrorists, because they don't want to put anybody in danger. So that's why they say we are not on an application. Then that's the we are not allowed.
The point here is I know you know I know where you're coming from with that, but the point here is a lot of people saw that it was prudent enough for this lawsuit to go ahead.
Yeah,
some people thought that that was one of the major or crucial decisions that the Unity Party had to take, and a very tough one, as a matter of fact, especially the ruling establishment taking up such a case.
I must admit,
but then in no time, the Unity Party decided to withdraw this whole case. Has anything changed about the law?
That's my question.
Was it a plus or a minus for the Unity Party? Let's start from there. Was this whole thing, was it a blunder on the part of the Unity Party, or was it a plus?
If I would say that the Unity Party did not play that card right, I think it would be about the lawsuit. Okay. But it won't be about engaging about the speakership. No, they did everything they could do. People are driven by money. So the only thing that I would have had them do, the only thing that I think they would have done was to have someone who ran against Fanati to bring that lawsuit, and not the party, because it makes them more glaring, and it makes it, if that was going to go through, it was going to be a low tension between the speaker and the government, which you don't want. You understand what I'm saying? So I think they're where they messed up at, to be the one to bring this lawsuit, They should have and someone who ran against Funanti to be the one to take up this lawsuit, because I guess those people can do it, right? Not just ordinary person that mean who has nothing to do with Funanti to go take him to court, but someone who ran against him should have been the one to bring up this lawsuit so we can see where it goes. I mean, why would you make laws if you're not going to hold it? If you're not going to go, implement it? What's the point of doing that?
Okay.
And the people,
Thank you.
they always talk about, a well-learned counselor, this and that. I mean, what was the smarter in that for he to be a part of something like that? A well-learned counselor, but you got to thinking to go around the law and act like you're above the law. You can sign on that law for other people, but you're not allowed to be infected by that law. So I really wanted to see, and also to know what they really want somebody to give them as a proof. So is there something about law when they know the U.S. citizen, when the U.S. got a law that say they cannot do that? So what are you really depending on when you pass the law? What was the proof that you're already allowing for somebody to give to you to show that somebody is a dual citizen?
Thank you. I mean, let's go to the lines and take a few calls on this. We will take some calls down on 0555-101075. The WhatsApp number is on the screen. You can call and make your input on this discussion here tonight. So we start up by taking this person, our very first call here. Hello. Okay, so let's take this person here. Hello, you live. Your name and where you call from? Hello? Hello, are you there? Okay, so we lost this person. We can take another one here. Hello? Hello, are you there?
How you guys doing?
Yes,
Nelson?
sir. Yeah, please go ahead. You're live, Elston.
This is Elston Legend. We said, quite frankly, I'm enjoying the panelists tonight. We have a very diverse team tonight, which is good. We love diversity. But in my purview, the party, in my opinion, they were to keep that lawsuit going, considering the facts are out there about his citizenship to the U.S. So, having said that, it has happened, and they've withdrawn their case. It's time to progress, and I don't think we should pay attention to people who are aligned with the outgoing government in terms of seditions or reaction or whatever they call themselves, because those are the people who led the worst government in our history, by my perception, and they have no say here. We've not taken power. When I say we, meaning those are all who supported Ambassador Bouaka and the opposition. We've not taken power, so they can sit back and watch the train ride. As far as I know, I'm going to retire on this point. As far as I do know, there will be no government as terrible as their government, George Weah's government, CDC government. So they have nothing to say here. We will not pay attention to them. We'll lead the country, and the country will be better than it was during their Bobo regime, the country led by a Bobo president. We will do better than him. It's easy to see that. We will not be a Bobo government. Thank you very much, Mr. Nelson and the crew.
Thank you.
Following closely.
Thank you, Elston, for your input. Let's take this person here. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you calling from?
Hey, Nelson, how you doing?
Yes, sir. We're okay. Let's hear you.
Yeah, thanks you guys for the show. My name is Bento. I'm calling from Kentucky.
Okay, go ahead.
We know a few months ago, every one of you were on the show advocating for GMB. We all tried our best to be on social media. But one of your panelists tonight, he need to be very careful with his utterances. It's too early for you to say you're bringing GMB down. Where you coming from? You want to bring somebody down? I'm sorry, that's not the right word to use. This thing here, everybody monitoring you guys, but you need to be careful with your words of choice. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And the man, our former AFL male, then he let's take another person here. Hello, you live. Your name and where you calling from?
Good morning, Nelson Colette.
Good morning, sir. Let's hear you.
And let me say good morning to your team of panelists. My name is Andrew Moses, and I'm the Secretary General for the La Prince of Show Colors Association. Let me
You're registered?
The Liberian Township College Association is duly registered.
Where your girl office at?
So we are legally operating.
Where your girl office at?
Our office is on Lynn Street.
I'll look for that office, man. I'll look for that office.
So
Yeah.
Let me respect all of the panelists on the show. But you see, the issue about the Unity Party challenging Councillor Fonantico back, the Speaker of the 35th Legislature Citizenship, I think the Unity Party.
Oh, you talk everything about your color association time to go to the real issue now the phone go up. Hello, you're live.
Yes. Good morning, my dear brother in studio.
Good morning, sir. Let's hear you.
My name is F. Tuluku Daya, and I'm calling you from district number 10 on the Oro. I'm 59 years of age.
Yes, sir. Let's hear you.
I don't even know how to give. I thank Spoon, this station, and for all of the panelists, since I've been monitoring the number one radio station in the Republic of Liberia and our life. To the point, I'll be asking Liberian people, time to come. With all of the good things, the first thing I would like to tell the Unity Party, members of the Unity Party and its alliance to withdraw that whole something talking about from the people for yes, we will be tested in the future so that we can get us some booger law. Those were laws that were a protocratic law of this nation.
What kind of law?
Protocratic. I don't want to talk about totalitarian. Now we are talking about democracy. Because if I want to go into the details and you get with someone, let me get on that one there. Yeah, some law.
Because you're 62-year-old, I will give you 1 minute. 1 minute to lay your thought on this issue.
Thank you.
Because you are old man on the show. But just go to the point. So
it's the station of the Republic of Liberia. May the Lord continue to bless the owner of this state.
Let me hear you blessing again. You're not going to the point. You're 1 minute finishing.
So that we can be able to share our views and our aspirations to our Liberian people. Look, even for people knew that this law is broken. Those were things that we went in caucus. For the Liberian people went in caucus. We want only peace. The BB letter, they get print it. I joined Unity Party in 1984. They get print and put it on the t-shirt and they put it on our brother and our children there. They get big in their heart. But however, under the leadership of JMB, the 80-year-old party, there'll be no CDC, there'll be no ANC, there'll be no Unity Party.
But why the people will not be there?
Liberia Sense has won.
Oh, okay.
I come here. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Has won.
Thank you, sir.
Liberia has won.
We have to hold you there.
I come in small, please, because this is my station. Look, for my Liberian people, let's stop carrying issues. We just need to cancel most of the totalitarian laws that have been made in this country.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes. Thank you, sir. Let's hold you there. Let's hold you there because we have to wrap up. Yeah. We appreciate you.
All the Liberians.
Thank you.
All of my voice at this hour. Thank you.
Thank you. We have to wrap up now. Let me squeeze a final person in. Hello. Okay. So this person is not on. So then we will start with Alfred. Since there was a question or there was a concern addressed
can I go ahead?
So yeah, go ahead, Alfred.
Yes, let me say again categorically that the election of Joseph Yuma Boakai, President-elect of the Republic, was a conglomeration of Liberians in the diaspora and Liberians back home who felt that as enshrined in Article 1 of the Liberian Constitution, the 1986 Liberian Constitution, which states that all free government are instituted by the people for their happiness and their security. We voted George Weah out because George Weah did not meet that expectation. George Weah was running against the state. People were running the government while George Weah was president. So we brought Joseph Newman Boakai because we believe that in his presidency, there will be progress in Liberia. That in his presidency, Mama and Papa can come home. That in his presidency, the laws of the republic will be adhered to. So those of you who want to be surrogates, when I was doing my 10 hours, my 12 hours to contribute to the Joe Boakai campaign team, I was not doing it because I want Joe Boakai to give me job in his government. Joe Boakai does not even know me personally. All right. I did that for the Republic of Liberia because I believe in what he said. Think Liberia, love Liberia, we can build Liberia together. We are not going to. We are not going to sit here. In conclusion, we are not going to sit here and allow surrogates within the Unity Party to thwart the rescue mission. That's why we are here to say, if the Pape does not take decisive action, as per the Constitution, we have the right to assemble and at such time to remove anybody who will make our leader. So I was saying, in short, when people say, when I say, oh, we'll bring you down, it not necessarily mean that we're coming to go in the forest. We're not going to go in the forest.
But no, you are a military man. You are a military man. You serve in the armed forces of Liberia. So when you say you're bringing somebody down, there's a whole different meaning as compared to
listen. We are not going to go in the forest. Like I said in my statement, that the most powerful people in Liberia are the diaspora Liberian as per our history.
Okay.
All right. So we have the ability to make it difficult for Joe Boakai. We have the ability to make it difficult for Joe Boakai.
We're closing now. We're closing. But why you as a former military personnel, you always raw on these things. The other day you anyway, but thank you.
Let me end on that because you make a very serious point over there.
Thank you.
Look, Nelson, it has been 175 years since our country was became independent. It's still the same. We are tired, my man. We want Liberia to become a better place where everybody can be proud of it. So
thank you. Let's go there.
We support a particular candidate. We will not look in their faces and tell them the truth. What they did was a wish home, and we should not start our government like that. We are talking about audit. We are talking about reformation. Sooner or later, some people will be saying, oh yeah, we don't want to do any kind of selective justice. They'll be across the board.
Thank you. Let's go you there, Alfred, and take Officer Hans Johnson. Officer Johnson, please go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Nelson. Thank you, Nelson. So I listened earlier today to Senator Dillon. In his closing, he was talking. I just want to stress on something he said, and I can elaborate a little bit. He stressed on the idea of him going to do drug tests, I think this Friday, and that will help in a way. I think basically he's doing an awareness. That's fine with him. But there is no law that binding the legislatures and even the president or anybody to do drug tests. Their job does not entails in its proceedings and guidelines to do drug tests. My appeal here to Senator Dillon and members of the Senate and House up on Capitol Hill is to infuse the budget on many things beside money, but equipments, things that will be able to support the like LDEA and Liberia National Police and other, just Nelson, just 5 seconds. This is very important, and other agencies that are fighting drugs in Liberia to be able to curtail those things before it gets. But going to take drug tests is fine. It's a good awareness, but it's not the solution. The solution is you're the Senate, increase the budget for LDA and LMP to fight drugs in Liberia, and also provide rehab centers. What Senator Dillon is doing is also well, but let there be more rehab centers. Thank you.
You scared for the lawmakers?
No, I'm not scared, but there is no law that's saying that lawmakers should take drug tests before they do this. And it's a good awareness, but he made mention that the president and vice president should. I'm saying LMP, LDEA, and other agencies need funding and money, yes, to fight the drugs.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Raymond, you want to do your closing?
I would like to start with a assets declaration. I know our law requires that before government officials take office, prior to taking office, they should declare their assets. I haven't heard any of the lawmakers declaring their assets, and I know they all have taken offices. I just want to flag this out. If they haven't done so, this is time for JMB government to flag out the rightful things. Going back to Liberians home and in the diaspora, Liberians in diaspora, of which I'm a part, are not in any way in a better position than Liberians at home. This argument is causing a divide in our country, and we need unity more than anything. So these utterances should be debunked in the highest, and I learned to debunk it. There are Liberians back home who are contributing vastly to our country growth, development, than any of us can imagine.
Thank you.
So the issue, well, a government, politicians should be critiqued by our people. So everybody's allowed to express their opinion as they see fit about what their leadership is doing. But everybody also on whatever side of the divide. And I believe this government should be given chance to perform and evaluate it fairly. Based on our perception and our opinion, when we start doing it, then we'll be like the low ball who will be crying wolf. And when the wolf came, nobody pay attention. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sandy, let's hear you. You're closing.
Sorry, I'm on mute, and hopefully my time was not going.
Yeah,
I must agree with you. We are here to hold each other accountable and to hold our government accountable. There is no better Liberian, whether in or outside of Liberia. We are all one. Liberia in the diaspora, we also have a history. It was the same diaspora where Liberian left and took on the government and brought war to our people. So yes, I do agree with you on that aspect. I want to also again extend my heartfelt sadness to the event that occurred today in Liberia with that truck. And I hope that there will be some laws that in place to enforce, to ensure that trucks like that are not allowed on our streets, on our major streets and residential streets, especially during the daytime, and that they can be checked properly. Now, on the issue of the Unity Party lawsuit, I made my position very clear. This was a lawsuit for all of us, all Liberians in and out of Liberia, especially some of us that are in the diaspora. And we're really hoping to hear the side of the court. But I will clearly say from all indication, what we are seeing happen is that this was political. The Unity Party paused this lawsuit because they want to collaborate, they want to work with this guy, which is fine. But when you put your interest above the Liberian people's interest, then we're going to come here and speak against it. Again, this is the Unity Party. This is not the incoming administration, but the Unity Party is the political party of the incoming administration. And I hope that things like this will not be repeated. When you file a lawsuit, go for it. I mean, the Unity Party is respected, is a respected political party. I want to believe that prior to filing this lawsuit, there were thorough investigation, discussion done in the background. So to withdraw it within, less than a couple of days after it was filed, just tell us that this, was a witch hunt, political witch hunt, and it shouldn't have happened in the first place, and it defeat the purpose for why it was filed. And hopefully maybe someone can come and pick it up. Maybe Nelson can pick it up in our interest.
Come on.
I'm not Prophet Key.
Let's hear you, Shirley.
Hey, Nelson. Well, thank you again for just having us here every night, looking around. But yeah, I still will say that the lawsuit was in the best interest of the Liberian people. It was all something where, like Sandy said, it's politics, and I think maybe that's what make it okay that it could just go in there and why this man already in position, so we need to work with him. But I do think they still need to define the law. We need to really, really get the understanding of that. What they really, what the law is. It needs to be defined so that if we have to go back to Liberia to run for office someday, we know where we stand. And it's not going to come back tomorrow to be like, hey, they did it for this pricing, and so I can do it too. So I think after everything is said and done, they need to go back and they need to define the law.
Thank
and
you.
so we can be clear of, if we can all go back and become Speaker of the House or whatever position that we want to run for someday. Nelson, why are you doing that when I'm talking?
No, I'm not doing anything.
No. I mean, I would love to go
girl, surely go back and run for
I would
any
love to.
position, okay? Because for Natikofa is one of those people, and he's there. Who can tell
And he
you?
was
they
the
can't
one that,
do it.
they were all part of making that law. So they just need to define it. Is it okay that I can go back and run for speaker one day and nobody gonna be looking for my citizenship or so?
Break a leg, girl. Go ahead,
Let,
break a
let's
leg.
just
And for
let,
you,
let's define that.
Charlie, when you were traveling recently, you
Mhm.
took a photo on the airport with your U.S. passport in your
I
hand.
am a U.S. citizen.
Your own
No,
case not far. Your own
Shirley,
case.
I'm your
Uh-huh.
lawyer. That was her friend.
No, that
You
was.
prove
Thank you, Amy. Amy, yes.
You prove that. That was
Yeah,
her friend's
but you
passport.
know why? Somebody make a point today on the Spoon Show. I don't know if it was Falcon or whoever, but the person said that, oh no, it was a senator. You can go and take the man's physical passport and carry it to the court, or take a copy of his passport and carry it to the court. You will be wrong. So if you screenshot my stuff that I took a picture of my
At the
U.S.
airport.
passport,
How can
you are
you
wrong.
be traveling
You
with your
can prove
friend's
that.
passport? Anyway, I
It
mean, go
was
ahead.
all
Do your
politics,
thing.
but it's okay. I think, I just want a better Liberia. That's it. And I'd hearing a senator today, I am so looking forward
Thank you.
to what the GMB government gonna do for Liberia, and I think they're gonna do great. So,
Thank you.
well, either way though, we are here, and if they're not doing anything right, we're gonna talk about it. Because
Thank you.
I'm not a UP and I'm not a citizen. I am a Liberian, so I'm gonna be
Thank
here
you,
and I'm gonna
Shirley.
talk.
Thank you, Shirley. Let's do you there. Amy, go ahead quickly now. You have 30 seconds to close.
No, you don't. No, I mean don't. So Nelson must be smoking up. They still got cushion like brother that you have small today.
Oh, but I mean, come on.
Let everybody speak for 5 minutes. But
No,
anyways,
everyone spoke for 1 minute each. I have the time.
know,
Okay, let me give you. Let me give
Hey,
you.
please, you did not pick up any time out for anybody. You're not gonna do it to me. So, like I
Okay.
was saying, it's good that
Joseph,
Remy and Sandy already talked about. It's good. You see, after
Come on,
Jerry interrupted me. So, it's good that Remy and Sandy already spoke about this, but I had already jotted it down as my talking point, so I'm still going to speak on it anyway. About what I first said about us in the diaspora being the most important or I don't know, powerful or whatever. That was a very bad comment to make. And this is why people in Liberia, they always, they're intimidated when we go back home. They think we trying to take something from them, or we think we're better than them because we're not. I look at the people on the ground to be the most powerful because of what they just did. I mean, they were not 100%, but look, we talked to them about this government being the outgoing government being a bad something. And with all the money and stuff that we may have donated, if those people were not going to be there after standing up to those people that were trying to rig the election from the polling centers, risking our lives, standing up to those people, we wouldn't be here talking about GMB getting inaugurated on the 22nd. So you can't take that from them. Let's just put that to rest. But yeah, and the transport department. This is what I said the last time, that we really need a reform. Like, everybody, I know people always trying to say, we're always trying to compare America to Liberia. I mean, why not? If America can do it, what are we? Are we animals? We are all human beings. Americans are human beings. We are human beings. Okay. So the same way how American people buy by the law here because they get penalized, that's the same way Africans should get penalized as well. American people are human beings. If you're not keeping eyes on them, they will be just like the Africans. It's common stop sign. During the nighttime when we're going, we know there's no police around there. You see us running those stop signs. There's no, but when you see the Officer Johnson, do you have your ears closed? But when you see the popo, you see us slowing down, being like behaving well, behaving good, and something. So it is a human behavior. We shouldn't think that, oh, there's superhuman in these Americas and then we have bad people in Africa. No, we don't. The same way when you're enforcing the law, you're doing everything that America doing to keep it working, it will work in Africa. We shouldn't say it can't work there and it's something, because look at what happened today with that tanker in the street of Monrovia, rolling down the street. Okay. And I was so glad that it wasn't a lot of people there. And I think from what I've seen, I don't think anybody got hurt from it. I hope, I'm hoping. It just ran into those cars and went towards the wall or whatever. But what if that was somewhere probably up? Okay, it was going to be way worse than that. That's why here they got inspection every year. You can put certain cars in the street. I think that should be the same thing in Liberia, to be able to have, I mean, safety. Safety should be number one. And in our country, we shouldn't be acting like we are animals. We just running a zoo. We just living in a zoo, doing anything whenever we want, however we want it, just putting people's life at risk.
Nelson, even your car smoking second will pull you over.
Exactly. So I hope the GMP administration will ready to listen to some of the things. Thank you. I'm sorry.
My car was smoky.
Thank you. But but Alfred, why you to smoking car from Liberia and carry America? Anyway, I want to
change the car oil. I change the car oil. Soon change the car oil right away.
That Liberian kind of way of doing things. Smoking car in America. Anyway.
I mean, the sooner change the car oil when I just joined sir and I know warm it. And I start going, so I started smoking from the back.
I want to say thanks to everyone, guys. I think it's been a great show. Thanks to all of you for being here. But before we go, let me do this quick birthday.
But Nelson, let me just say this before you go.
Yeah, you will say that. I just want to roll this. I just want to roll this quick birthday greeting out to someone.
Is it my birthday, Nelson?
I mean, your birthday, not
your birthday. You don't have a birthday, Raymond, do you?
Every man has one.
Okay, so when is yours?
What do you think?
That's going to be in April, soon to be.
Okay, it's still far away. But I like to say happy birthday to you, Sonny Wakor. That's Sonny Walker.
Happy birthday.
Today is your birthday.
Happy birthday.
Your husband.
Happy birthday, beautiful.
Your husband, your king,
S.
Kamara.
Oh, she's beautiful.
No, she can be beautiful, guys.
Kamara and yes, and sons, they're saying happy birthday
to
you.
I'm from Mali.
Sonny Walker. Wishing you all the best. You celebrated your birthday actually on the 17th of February. Happy birthday to you again, Sonny Walker.
What does that mean?
Oh, what's going on?
Yeah,
no, he already talking about happy birthday.
But guys, we have to go, man. I want to say thanks to everyone.
Like I say, you should get more time.
I was about
You-
to make this point.
You
before
have to go. You don't have to go.
No,
But
please.
let me just
Our
say
brother
this.
Afra got something to say, please.
Yeah, let me just say this. When we come on this show, we come with passion for Liberia. My comment is denying any way meant to denigrate the people of Liberia. I just want to make that clear, right? I love Liberia. This is the only country where I cannot be deported from. Okay? Even tomorrow I become a U.S. citizen, the U.S. government has the right to revoke that citizenship. Okay? But Liberia cannot revoke my citizenship because I'm a Liberian. Okay? So if to all the people that are listening to me, and if you feel offended by my comment, what I meant to say politically, I was speaking politically. I was not speaking to denigrate Liberia. I cannot do that. Okay? So again, Sister Ami, thank you for bringing me to order. And I want to say, if anybody felt offended by my comment, I'm sorry.
Thank
Afra, you just touched my heart. Thank you.
Thank you, Afra. I believe you misspoke as well.
Yeah.
Look, let me say this right. You see the way I can suffer in the Ethiopian people's hands. Now they see me, Habisha.
Because the thing you are, you look like one.
Ethiopian. I'm a Liberian, born and raised in Liberia. But they Habisha. Have it. Then they let tea. You want tea? Then when I ask you for the menu, they're like, why are you asking us? Like, you don't know what on the menu. I mean, I was seriously. I can suffer on the Ethiopian on this side, for real.
Tell them to not revoke your citizenship.
No, we are having party because Nelson is not here.
But man, you better just
no, Nelson coming to call. Or no, what I meant to say was that we are all educated on this show here. We should be accountable to each other. And I love the fact that you brought me to order to say, look, the comment you made was not right for our people, because people will feel offended. They will feel offended by what I said. You know that when I said, "Oh, we are the diaspora Liberians are the most powerful people," I meant politically we have the leverage in terms of pushing things in the international community, in terms of doing things in the international community. Let
me use a little free time.
Sorry, you want to get B again?
Yeah,
I'm not trying to defend that statement. I'm not trying to
use
defend
it free. Let me use it free time. We gotta admonish again. I'm sure GMB guy will listen. Look, the new LMP, the new transport, the new commerce, the new agriculture. It's a collaboration. You all need to get a task force together to start doing these inspections for these.
Yeah.
Even a car passes by me with smoking, that emission, I pull that car over, because then we have what you call environmental crimes, environmental disaster, different units. They will look at it. And there are some other states. Y'all see the states, they got the weigh station, right? Am I lying? Y'all see the weigh station on the highway.
Yep.
You have to be certain weight to be able to pass the inspection. So LMP, I know and I trust the new LMP IG will implement, but the Senate.
Look, you know something we don't know. Who says IG? You keep buzzing on.
Don't mind man. He's saying no. He only hope for.
The man selling a candidate.
I know.
Just tell us, yeah. He pass us.
That candidate might get stuck up in the pipe.
Your ballot
Officer Hines.
Let me say something. So Raymond tried to take over Mackey's job. He using all the Bible voices and trying to preach to us. We just want to ask you to pray for us tonight before we get out of here.
Okay, let us bow and let the Holy Spirit.
Yeah, we're still having party.
But what is someone?
No, maybe Nelson will cut us up anytime. So we pray, then we'll freestyle.
Guys, no, I'm not.
I'm here. I'm gonna interrupt.
Thanks to everyone for being here. I want to say thanks to everyone for being here tonight. It's been a great show.
Nothing always interrupting.
After your internet is bad.
Oh, Jefferson like it. Thank you, sweetheart.
So is that we gotta block the Jefferson like a male? What you think that?
No, I think Jefferson is cool. Jefferson is advocating for Amy.
You black Josh.
You hater.
Don't hit.
Hater.
Should we black Josh? Y'all want us to black Josh?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, who all saying y'all such a hater?
Let's have a vote.
Y'all know Josh is coming on tomorrow. Okay, he's gonna get the two of you.
That's Black George. Yes.
Nelson, seriously, I noticed that.
That is on a white ballot.
I will have to take my computer to the guy so we can look at it. I think the computer can be doing that.
It's on a white ballot, Nelson.
Our man Jefferson have a white picture on a profile, but he's still looking for one more. Yeah.
Don't try to hit.
Maybe Jefferson's a Territorian too. Maybe Jefferson's a Territorian. What are you talking about?
Jefferson artist on Emmy, but he tried to make it, but he ain't making. He got lost
can't prove me. I will tell you all the tricks.
Jefferson is
One trick I gotta tell you
Ask-
is that she's married and is happy. So
If you're going to Robert's feet to carry to meet Prophet Key live.
No, I think Prophet Key should settle his $5 million lawsuit first before we handle that.
Where did they get $5 million lawsuit?
Look there, there's something.
Nothing. You please
Yeah,
have your
portrait is
camera
nice.
around. If there's any camera, anybody picture, any outfit looks like Kamaya outfit of GMB inauguration, eh? You must screenshot and
But guys, I think it's been a great show, man. I want to say
Thank you,
thanks
man.
to everyone.
Thank you.
And,
Good night.
Alfred, don't come back on that on the show with that.
No, I will try to talk to my guy to look at my computer. My computer.
no, Alfred, let me just share with you,
your
my man.
network.
Don't buy a computer from Walmart.
No.
Walmart,
Don't buy a computer from Timu.
Alfred is
Don't buy a computer from Facebook Marketplace.
Walmart got some good computer.
Walmart got good computer. Let you not buy a computer from Wish.
Which what they call Timu?
Timu, that a new one.
You know that women had to call it website where they can buy all their clothing. They can go to separate all that.
So that where you got it from, brother?
No.
Now they play carry a motor net.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Nelson about to take out one at a time. Good night, Nelson.
Okay, guys. It was a good.
When I tell the officer, you know, anybody can go.
Okay, guys.
Good night, Nelson.
Okay, then.
Oh, Emmy and myself, let's party. Say, let's party.
Inauguration party.
Nelson, we.
Yes, sir. A special one from the CEO, Stan coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band. Charging.